Namaskar everyone. I hope you are sitting at home and you are safe. And while you are sitting at home, please like, share and subscribe to my YouTube channel. And please don't forget to comment down below. Thank you and stay tuned. So I will go backwards. Let's start with the sixth disease, that is fish odor syndrome. It is also known as trimethylaminoria. This syndrome is caused by an unpleasant fishy smell and is called the fish odor syndrome. This syndrome can be caused by mutations in FMO3 gene, or it can also be caused by faulty genes. This basically occurs when the body is unable to break down the organic compound trimethylamine, which results in this bad and strong fishy smell. The symptoms are that is an unpleasant smell, typically of rotting fish, or it can also be described as smelling like other things like breath that is bad, pee, or sweating, etc. So the fifth syndrome or disease is the foreign accent syndrome. This syndrome happens when any person starts to speak in a different accent. Well, it is different from the accent he really speaks or the native accent. This syndrome is most common after a head injury or a stroke or any kind of damage to the brain. This kind of syndrome is very rare. Only 100 cases till now have been found out. The first ever case of this syndrome was diagnosed in 1907. This syndrome is a temporary stage while recovering from an injury. Most patients who suffer from this syndrome are women or females. H. Whitaker coined this term in 1982, which was named the foreign accent syndrome. I'll give you an example of FAS or foreign accent syndrome. In 2018, an American woman who lived in the state or US state of Arizona, she had a severe headache in the night, and when she woke up in the morning, she started to speak in a mixture of language, which was Australian, British and Irish. Have you ever imagined water allergy or people allergic to water? Well, it sounds fictitious, I think, but it is true. So, on the fourth number, we have an allergy, which is known as the water allergy or aquagenic urticaria. So, in this disease, hives develop on the skin after contact with water. Hives are a kind of a skin rash. It is a recurring disease. This condition results from coming in contact with any kind of water. In this disease, you can drink water, but if it touches your body, it can cause harm to your skin. Crying also can aggravate this disease. We, in our daily lives, laugh a lot while listening to a comedy show or a movie. But have you ever heard about a death while a person was laughing? If not, then on the third number, we have a death known as the laughing death, or a disease known as the laughing death. It is also commonly known as kuru. This is a deadly disease of the nervous system. Kuru means to shiver or to tremble with fear. The symptoms of this disease include muscle twitching or contractions or small contractions in the muscle, and also loss of coordination. Other symptoms include walking difficulties, mood swings, and eating difficulties. The disease started with the tribal people of New Guinea, when all of a sudden these people started to laugh. This laughter is the characteristic or the chief characteristic of the laughter death syndrome. And in the 1950s, it came as the main headlines of the newspaper. Eventually, a US physicist, Carleton, worked out and said that this disease was being passed on by the villagers because of the eating habits or customs in which they ate their own dead family members. On the second position, we have a disease known as the Proteus Syndrome. It is also known as epidermodysplasia verruciformis. This is a rare and a hereditary disease. In this disease, patients can catch infection very easily. It also causes skin cancer. It can also cause HPVs or human papillomaviruses of the skin. It is found between the age groups of 1 to 20. It is also known as Lewandowski-Lutz dysplasia, which is the name given after the two physicians who had first documented this syndrome. It is also known by the name Treeman syndrome. It has no cure and it is a lifelong disease. The most recent example of EV or epidermodysplasia verruciformis is Sebastian Quinn, a native of Pittsburgh, who was shown on the TLC episode My Feet Are Killing Me on January 2021. On the first position, we have the Proteus Syndrome. It is one of the rarest and the strangest disease ever to have been recorded till date. This disease is characterized by the overgrowth of bones, skin, or other tissues. This disease is when a body part or bone grows bigger than the other body parts. It is mainly caused by the mutations of AKT1 gene. The symptoms of this syndrome include intellectual disability, poor eyesight, and also non-cancerous tumors. Example, the most famous case of Proteus tumor or syndrome is the case of Joseph Carey, who was cruelly known as the Elephant Man. He said that he felt like an animal. He was treated like this by the doctors, everyone around him. So he felt like an animal.